Hello, it's Keith Jarvis with MKP USA Support Services here, and another training video for training administration, in specific the creation of a new NWTA in the many data systems from scratch mid-year, as in an event that was not included or informed to MKP USA or MKPI in advance of the batch creations in the last quarter of the previous year. And that's what we have right here, an Alberta training in September of 2016, September 23 through 25 for participants. So how to do that, right? Because it needs to belong in CiviCRM, 2 events, and in Connect Drupal, 3 vgroups, a node at the NWTA site, and in the calendar, the Google Calendar. So let's start with Drupal. And many of these things need to go back and forth. There are fields in the one that affect the other. So this is going to be a long video, so hang in there. Okay, so let's create content. We go add content, and we will need to add 2 vgroups and a staffing. And the staffing is the staff vgroup. So this will be the new brother vgroup. Let's just go ahead and mark that. And this will be the MOS vgroup. Let's go ahead and identify this as Alberta. And in that we may need to go back and forth with these items a few times. So I'm just going to call it other, because this is a little bit of a special NWTA according to the description. So yeah, there's at least a placeholder in Drupal now. Now let's look at a little bit of that information, and I'm going to go ahead and pop open a notepad, which I sometimes use just as a means to have data in a quick view. Okay, so that's essentially. Now I'm going to need to have other information from here as well. The center director. Okay, he gave me nothing about who the registrar is. So, but it's Jim Stevens, the center director of Alberta. So I'm just going to use him. And so that'll be fun. I need to additionally get some information. Let's jumpstart that process by going to CiviCRM events, and you can see I've already searched Alberta NWTAs, and they have one in the system for 2016 in May. And what is useful in this manual process is to clone existing trainings and then change the name. So you'll see here that the NWTA, the participant NWTA for May, if I copy, and I'm going to control and then copy, and it'll say, yeah, do I want to? And now it's created a copy in another tab, and I'm going to, before I leave here, do the same with the staff NWTA. And now, just to keep my tabs a little cleaner, I'll close that search tab. Now you can see that it's renamed it to say copy, and all I'm going to go in here and remove the word copy and change this to say September, and change the summary to say September. And then I'm going to just go ahead through all the other tabs. So this is the participant event, which needs to be a Friday. So I'm going to look at September 2016. September 2016. I think it's that. No, 23rd it would have to be. 23rd, that's Friday. And then I'm just going to grab the following Sunday after that. Sunday the 25th. So those are accurate, and that whole tab is accurate. So I'm going to say, now if it's an MKPUSA event, we additionally will need to affect the event fee and the accounting code and the class, but while we're in here, let's go ahead and say yes, MKPI. That is something that helps to exclude in search results within CiviCRM. Right, so now that is saved. We have progress being made here, even though it still says copy of, because that'll change when we go to done. Fees. So we are not processing fees for Alberta. I don't know why that is selected, so let's unselect it and then say save. And then online registration. And we need this to be the Tuesday of the week of. So September 23 is when it starts. Tuesday is the 20th. So, and there it keeps the duplicate matching row of last name and general. And there it is. It's Stephen, Jim Stevens is the individual that was in the confirmation on the other. So we'll just save it. There he is. He's already in our event. That's one of the benefits of doing the cloning, is that it's often the same individual and you can just save some of the data. So the NWTA participant event is partly started, and this ID number will be important in many of these nodes. So let's go into the nodes and let's look for where it wants to know the participant event ID. This is the new brother, and it wants the participant event ID. And this is the NWTA, and that's going to want the staff ID, but the staffing node, I think it may want both. The node ID and doing that there to CiviCRM participant event. That's the node there. So now we have the participant event in Civi pretty much done. We'll go save and done. Now it will retitle that as well. We'll look at that before we're done. Now here's the staffing staff event, and so we'll need to retitle as we did before, to take out copy of and replace May with September in the data here. The staff event will need to start on that Thursday, so we'll go to September 23rd. There's Thursday is the 22nd, and then we'll get that corresponding Sunday, the 25th. We will go ahead and tail its MKPI, and so the first tab is done. Now we'll move on to the online registration, which will be in specific where we edit the staff application deadline, at least the CiviCRM part. And I think he even identified what the specific he wanted. What did it say? Staff of July 25th. So July 25th at 11:59 p.m. and that's system time. We don't have time zone. We don't have time zone yet. Jim Stevens will get a copy of the entries and save and done. Let's go ahead and grab the ID, the event ID, while we go save and done. Now we have the event ID for the staff, and that goes there. And I think that also needs to go in the MOSV group, right there. So, yeah. Let's Now look at those two items in CiviCRM. There's probably better ways to do all of this in a more systematic way, but we rarely do these in a manual creation, so it's a little bit weird. Alberta, September 2016 participant and staff MOS. So I'm just going to keep those open as references, but they look like they got created just fine. And there they are in CiviCRM. Okay, so let's create the V groups. And what am I on? On New Brother. Let's just start with staffing because that tends to be the root of all the titling. We'll call it Alberta, September 2016 NWTA. The title field and the description field are identical. AB is Alberta, September 2016 NWTA. That is our base email. We're going to copy that and we're going to use that in the New Brother but with a dash NB. And we're going to use that in the MOS but with a dash MOS. While we're here, we're just going to take that title field and we're going to put it in all of these other fields, but then we'll append that to say MOS, and we'll append the New Brother to say New Brother, New Brothers. Okay, now we're going to close the V group. It's closed, so it's not open join V groups. These are manually assigned by the V group administrator. And let's see, what else do we need? We're in the New Brother V group. This is a training and it's a region. We need to select its MKPI to preclude. There it is for MKPI, so that the raise hand with membership does not display. And then we need this. So the email address for this V group is at mkpconnect.org. Now I have a notepad with a specific do not attempt to change stuff that you can see here. I'm going to select it all. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to source, find the end of that code, paste, and source again. And there is my kind of standard do not attempt to change instructions. I'm going to scan this. Okay, New Brother date. It wants to have it wants to have the Sunday. Let's make sure that I'm looking at that right. Sunday the 25th. Yes. It wants to have the Sunday is the NWTA New Brother event date. And that looks pretty good. Let me look at that same field here, 211609-J5. Now this one is the same thing. I go the email address for this V group is at mkpconnect.org. I'm going to grab my, wrong notepad. It's the notepad I want. Copy, paste, source. There it is. Looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and save that one. And this is the New Brother V group. I'm going to save it as well. And keep the tabs open because it is useful when it comes to the staffing fields. Now, I'm going to say the contact is Jim Stevens. And luckily, I still have these open. So if I didn't have his email address because of his submission, I could search it up in the Find Warrior field, but I just opened up that event. And I happen to have his email. I don't have his contact phone, but I'm going to leave that blank for now. There's additional stuff about where it is. So let's see. The city is Muscowicis. I can't pronounce that. The country, I do not have a postal code, so I'll leave that blank. and I'm going to say this is the facility. Okay, so it wants the node of the MOSV group. MOSV group. I'm going to hover. You see in the bottom right is the node 425550. 425550. The node of the new brother V group. Go to new brother V group. I'm going to hover on edit 425551, bottom left corner. 425551. Registration link. This wants to have the registration link of the staff application. This is the staff event, and I believe just appending this node at the end of that string is what it needs, and we'll test that before we're done. Here's our default content. The email address for this V group is, I'll grab my prefix up here, boom, paste at mkpconnect.org. I will then go to one of my other notepads and I'll get that do not change stuff. I'll go select all copy and I'll go source, end code, paste, source. Oh, here's something that I didn't do on the others. I kind of like to make that a quick email link so you can just click on it and use it. Staff, so you can see that this is using yet another date format. So let's see, this is the Thursday of the event. 9/22. 9/22. 09/22/216. Start date for participant. Copy, paste. Participants is the next day, the 23rd. End date is the 25th. Registration begins, and we can just make that be today. I tend to default to that so that it can go ahead and open. The participant registration deadline, as we talked about, is the Tuesday of the week. Where's the participation? Which is, that's Friday 20th. Is that right? The staff app began today. They can start today. And a repeat of that deadline is, what was it? July 25th. So it's 07/25/217. This is all normal. Where's the MKPI? Yes. That precludes the hand raise. Okay, so I think that is, I may come back later when I have Jim's phone or the postal code. I will take advantage of this, that he has a little bit of custom information. I'll use that extra field right there. And let's save that. Now we are at the Drupal node is completed. When a script runs, it should put this in the listings. Now we additionally have to make this is a V group, right? So we need to add a V group administrator, and so I like to do like action at one time. Add bulk, add bulk, add bulk. Now this is open. I'm going to say add this dude. Yeah, that's the dude. Next tab, that's the dude. And now he's in there, and I want to make him the admin, so I'm going to expose the list. Expose the list. And I'm going to make him an admin, and it'll come up or say, are you sure? Yeah. Make him an admin. Are you sure? Yep. Admin. Are you totally sure? Well, yeah, pretty much. All right, so there we are. MKP Connect V groups with the data that link it back and forth to the Civi CRM events and both Civi CRM events. Now let's go to Drupal, the NWTA Drupal site. We need to create a piece of content. What kind? NWTA. And let's just back button really quick. See, the naming scheme here is center, month, year. So we're forward. Center, month, year. We're talking Alberta, September 2016. Center selected. Actually, I think only region is available here. This stuff we don't actually need any of the location data. What we do need is start and end dates and a link. So you'll notice this is really fun in that there's two separate formats here. The start date, now let's see, 1609 dash, in my brain, this is part of the reason why it's helpful just to have that thing 23rd available, because so many moving parts, it's easy to forget and have to go back and forth. End date would be the 25th and 2016, and there's really no reason why that specific time is in there. That I don't know why that would be there. Registration link. Okay, so now what I need to do is I go to the Civi CRM, the participant event, and it is done, but I make it, I close this out again. I want to find it in this view so that I can specifically grab the register now link, event link live, and I'm creating control press link, and this is the link right there. I've highlighted my browser bar and press copy. I'm going back. This is that link right there, and it's Canada and it's other, and I think that's all I need. Even though there's extra fields, I'm pretty sure that's all I need. We're talking about getting rid of this site as it is. End date is invalid. Okay, so I guess it does need this weird time thing at the end. Let's just use the one that's available there and go save and see if that works. Okay. Now, let's see if that shows up in the how do I register. How do I register? Well, let me tell you. First, you'll scroll down and find September 2016. Alberta, 23rd. Click to register. Success. Womp womp. No, I think that needs to be edited just so that it just says please contact me. I think that's something. But the link works. And configure. Okay, so now we just need to add it to the NWTA calendar. And you'll notice the color coding scheme that first Tony Wilkinson created. So let's see what color. Let's find a Canada. He's got the purple for Canada. So let's go back to September. And we'll double click so that it's in edit mode. We'll get the purple just so that I don't forget. And we'll call it Alberta. Crap, I need to open that up and look at it. I need my naming scheme in front of me here. Why is it not? Okay. Alberta NWTA. So that's all, I guess that's all it needs. Oh, it'll be Canada, parenthetical Alberta. See, that's why. Canada, parenthetical Alberta, NWTA. And then what we put in the where field is just the city / state or province. So if you recall, I have that right here. I'm just going to grab that. Boom. And it's good to have some description, some contact in the description. And we're just going to make that be Jim's address. Grab it from anywhere. And we're going to just say, there it is. And now we'll make the Friday through Sunday. And we'll save. There it is. So let's see. Google Calendar, yes. NWTA node, yes. Civi events. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I need to run a script in Drupal. Now we could just wait until overnight and the dates would sync up and the staff application listing would become available. But a lot of this is, everything's on fire and it's urgent and everything. So in the stored procedures in the Connect Drupal is a script called staffing time summary. If we execute that, I believe now if we go to MKP Connect and we go to show me staffing opportunities, which of course is multi-pages, but we can narrow it down to the one we want by identifying these center. And hey, that's kind of a handy thing that I'm just going to copy his contact number. So there it is. There's the listing. This should be the staffing node, which it is, and I'll leave that open so I can put the phone number in. And this should be the staff app. Fingers crossed. Yay! So there it is. That is the manual creation of an NWTA that's not in any of the data systems in Drupal, CiviCRM, and the Google Calendar and the second Drupal site. How's that for fun? Woohoo! Training administration.